Hello, everybody. Good night. Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. You are back with the crew. And tonight, I have my son, Brent, the B-Man Staple, and we have a longtime friend of ours, a new guest to the show,
My
a great
brother.
man that we've known for many years. Brent and I have both met him many years ago. Simon Says Crypto. Simon, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing very, very well. I'm excited to be here. It's going to be great to take our conversations that we always have at a table or on the phone and bring it out here on your guys' channel. And this is awesome. This is going to be a good time. I'm doing well though. Very well. Thank you. You guys?
Oh yeah,
Good.
doing good. Completely exhausted from physical and mental work, but that's where the madness kicks in life, and I feel like that's right next to creativity. And so the ideas and the drive to read and research and study and love is in full gear, gentlemen. It's in full gear.
Yeah.
Lots of love on all of you tonight.
All right. So
Oh,
so
yeah.
basically what you're saying is you're not getting any sleep like the rest of us.
Yes. Now
That's
I'm
right.
like you guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. It's good. It's good
There's
for
so much good energy in the crypto space right now that, like, the words that are coming to me and the papers and the well wishing and the new people I meet. And almost every day I get a new contact from somebody that I've been watching their show for years. And it just is all coming this week. I know it's part of the XRP deal, but it's just amazing how everybody feels like we've turned a big corner in crypto. And we all are looking forward to it. And we've been waiting for many years for great information to come our way. And it seems like it's all coming all at once. So it's been a great week for me.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I would totally agree with that statement.
I love the smell of winning in the morning. I love it.
And in the
Yes.
afternoon, in the
Yeah.
evening, and at
Afternoon.
midnight,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and at dawn.
When we're sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
I'm going to just bust the show out right now and just blow the doors right off the beginning here.
Yes,
I was
sir.
just sent a document about an hour, about maybe 2 hours ago.
Okay.
It was so deep and so intense that I was like, okay, I got to call this guy. And he's like, well, I'm right in the middle of a movie right now. I'm like, turn the damn movie off. What do you mean? You can listen to the thing later. Like, what? You can't just send me a document like this and then not, give me the full scoop. But anyway, he's doing his movie and he wants me to review all the documents, and we're going to talk tomorrow about them. I don't have his permission to talk too deeply about all of it. I'm going to share it with
Okay.
everybody as soon as I can. I'm going
Okay.
to say that there are no less than 60 banks listed, their protocols, their codes, their account numbers, their transactions, all on RippleNet, all using XRP. These are 60 of the largest banks in the world. They already have all their T's crossed and dotted I's all up and down. And that's what all of this paperwork is, even to the point where they have transactions. What happens when transactions go bad, when they go wrong? And when you look over into the summary, there's a whole
Oh, this is
page
cool.
of summary. And
This is
I'm
cool.
going to make a show just on reading the summary of anything that could be known about the RippleNet system with these 60 banks is in it. It was
Crazy.
mind-blowing. And it's, yes, every bank that you guys can imagine. HSBC, B of A, all of them. Goldman Sachs, every global bank. There must be 10 Chinese banks on it.
I believe it. I have shared a PDF file with
Yes,
you both, right? Okay.
right.
Now, Alan, you said that you had figured out more than likely the original source
Yeah,
for that big file, right? So
yeah.
I have I have sent that off to other just local friends and friends in the crypto space as well, just so everybody can, kind of chew some meat on the bone. And so
Right.
I have one friend that printed everything off so he could string everything together. That's just how he processes, right? Um,
That was
um,
my plan originally. Yeah.
well,
Venn diagram.
132 pages. I really needed a list,
Yeah.
and their logos and
Yeah.
countries' flags, so I could go, oh yes, you're going to here, you're going here, and it already does that. But just to see the bigger picture to make it simpler, I'm very excited to hear what information you're able to share with the rest of the crypto space and about these documents. And I'm pretty sure that most of the financial institutions, banks that were in this file that I shared with you guys, I bet you they're pretty much all on there.
The thing that you sent us, Simon, was far more detailed, but it was more in the sense of this could happen. It was more
Yes.
and it was sort of more like put in presentation view, like
Right.
you could get in front of a group of people and do a slideshow with it.
It's a whole bunch of series of flow charts, and how things possibly would more than likely work if this happened and this happened.
The document that I received this afternoon, and I don't even know, there could be hundreds of people that already have this, and I could be last guy to the party here, but it actually has transactions, and it actually says their accounts, and it says how this account goes to that account to this account. Well, the thing that struck me the most was, I'm just going to use one bank in particular, HSBC. Using the RippleNet, it had an avenue of how it would distribute all these funds. It had a timing of how it would distribute them. It had a listing of the codes in which they would use. It had a listing of the codes in case something went wrong. And then it had a transactional counter number to where they've already done hundreds of transactions. Wasn't like a maybe we're going to do this in the future.
No.
This was a done deal. And
it's a done deal.
Ooh,
I found dates on it from 2019 all the way up to late 22. So what I think is happening, I'm speculating here now, is what I think is happening is once the court case happened, which reminds me, I got to tell you another quick story in a minute. But what I think's happened is since the court case, people are divulging information that they've been sitting on. And now they're like, okay, I can put this out there because this is now law. Or I now feel good about, hey, this is what we've been working on for 2 years. And they've had to be really hush-hush about it. So I have an idea that a lot of this is coming directly from Ripple itself, I think. I'm guessing. But I can't. The guy who gave it to me says, by the way, I have no idea where this came from. Hint, hint. I have no clue. Right? Like
it's the punchline of every great crypto story, crypto project or whatever. It's like, I have all this information. What do you got? Okay, cool, great. Yes. Oh yeah, that's amazing. Where'd you get it from? I have no idea.
I don't even ask that question. If you notice, I don't even ask where it came from. I don't care. And if you are the kind of person, well, I need sources, and I need this, and if you need all that stuff, good luck to you. I mean, because in this world, if you're going to get somebody to admit highly classified documentation, they're either going to be fired from their job, and you'll never get any information from them again. Or
probably a little bit more than that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I have to, let me go back to the other story that I got yesterday afternoon, which was pretty real lighthearted, but kind of fun the way it went. This is a direct email from a guy whose initials may or may not be Jamie Dimon. And it's an email from his office to Ripple office that may or may not be to a financial officer in Ripple. And essentially a congratulations. So we will proceed forward with all the agreements in which we already have in place.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially what the email says. It was read to me. I didn't get to see it. Person that read it to me, I truly believe is not just BSing me. He's going to present the document to me soon.
Wow.
That was interesting. Yeah, woo! That was really interesting as well.
So, I mean, I'm sure the B-Man and everybody else that follows you both on this channel.
Yeah.
How amazing is it to be you, the fly on the wall? I mean, you know what I mean? You're like, it's like the universe just stuck you right in the middle of the room, and everybody has to pass you, and everybody wants to say hi, meet you, because you're a friendly guy, you're a stand-up guy, but it's just that's so amazing. I'm like, let him pick the lottery numbers just to see what happens. Let's just see. I mean,
Totally. Just when you sent us that document, Simon, my dad and I had a conversation that night, and it was like we were kids that unlocked the magical mystery of Christmas. We had the codes to the magic of Christmas. We're like,
it was like, for me, yes, it was borderline like Goonies. The movie Goonies. Yeah, right. You got the treasure map and you're like, oh wait, this is real. Hey, this medallion works. Yeah, let's go. And it keeps on going, that's really kind of what it was felt like, oh my gosh,
It's so funny you bring that up, Simon, because I just had a conversation just the other night with a gal that we all know, Melissa, and it was she was saying sort of the same thing, and it was really interesting to me that, like, she's like, all of a sudden your show went to XRP, it was like, and Brent and I did a show a long time ago now, a year and a half ago, Brent.
Yeah.
And I think it was our very first XRP show. And I was coming back from the feed store, driving my truck, and I had a daydream, which was a dream. Okay. Essentially.
Right. Yeah.
And it was so vivid and so real that it was like a dream. And we did a show about it. And it was about the railroad tracks and everything. And for some reason, that show blew up. It did really well compared to all the other shows. We only really had 3 shows that did well in the beginning. We had
when we were talking about Veritasium and Reggie
Veritasium show blew up.
Yeah, I did one of those of how to just a quick rundown of how to get Veritasium. Same. Yep.
A lot of our similar community reached out to us too, Simon, like the same people that you know.
Yes. Yeah.
And
what was the other one, Brent? Oh, El Salvador. Blew up.
Yeah. It was the second video, and it was just spur of the moment. As usual, Dad's like, I got to run on this. I gotta talk about this.
Yeah.
And we were at that very beginning point. We're like, okay, let's hit go. And now
I'm getting comments in the comments section from longtime listeners, Wayne and many other people that we know pretty well in our group now. They're like, you picked this coin for me, Alan. It wasn't for you. I wouldn't know, which I don't believe in any of that. I basically, I like to tell the story that, one day you're going to have your grandkid on your lap, and you're not going to tell them, oh, well, Alan told me to buy it. No, you bought the coin. I didn't push the button. You did. And I want you to take credit for the fact that you saw something all the other fish didn't see in the bowl. And you were smart enough to make it happen for yourself. You did that. And I didn't help you. I might have planted a seed or two, but you made it
Yep.
happen for your family.
Yep.
And
Well said.
people are coming. You stuck with XRP, and I was like, it wasn't like I
Plan that.
intentionally took the show there. It was like all of a sudden I was watching every time I would do anything about it, like I resonated with people that were already into it. And the more I learned about the coin, and the more I got involved, it just became who I am now, and now with this court case, it's just amazing. So
Yeah.
The XRP community / army, they are very, very intelligent. Not saying that others aren't. I have guys, don't take offense to this. The Bitcoin maxis, like I remember talking to people about Bitcoin that were obviously knew a lot more about it, but the information and the tactfulness that they spoke about that coin, I was amazed. I was like, wow, awestruck. Same thing with the army. And it's not a matter of what I've noticed between just these two coins, okay, and the community or the armies that they have. There it is very, very matter of fact. There is no question. There's no doubt. It's like, no, this
conviction.
works. Yeah, it's very the conviction is there. And when you're an investor in anything, even when you're learning just to invest in anything, the thing that draws you is to the people that speak with conviction and truth. And we all know truth at some level. It's like, no, this person either A is speaking the truth, or B, they really think they're speaking the truth. But 9 times out of 10, it is the first, that they are speaking truth. They are speaking fact. I found this. I did as much as I could, but then I found another one example. I found Alan, and it just, things lined up. So I stopped doing my homework a little bit because Alan was making sense, and now I'm relearning, and which kind of gets me to another part of investing that honestly I learned from the book called The Richest Man in Babylon. And and that is one of the rules of gold. If you seek the wisdom first, I love that book, man. I mean, I'm at work, I listen to that book and Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I kind of bounce back and forth because there's just so many small one-liners in there that literally make your universe that much better. They really do.
And we're going to need the lessons in both those books coming up real soon.
Oh yes. Very, very much. But if you seek the wisdom, the riches just come. The gold will follow.
Yes.
And that's
if you stick to your convictions and you're seeing of the outcome before it's there, it always manifests for you. Like if you doubt it along the way, you're in a lot of trouble. The whole XRP army had no doubts. They were like, this is going to happen. We're going to win this case. We're going to do this thing. We're going to laugh at Gary Gensler, and we're all going to party on. And it was amazing. And here's the thing that I'd like to say, and I'm going to really go on what you're talking about there exactly, Simon. It's so perfect. The XRP army and their conviction is so tight, and it's so well knowledged. They know what's going on. They do. And they've done their research.
Yeah.
The difference is the Bitcoin maxis. The Bitcoin maxis are ahead of the army in the sense that they want real money and they want real change.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Of the future of mankind. Now, I know the XRP army also wants that, but they're so hyper focused on what the coin does and its technology that they're okay. they're okay. They need to get the riches of the $30,000 coin like Bitcoin has already achieved before they can go on to, hey, fixing the world, which I know I'm oversimplifying the two groups, but that's
Sure.
kind of where the two groups differ.
Well,
Being a
yeah,
fan
yeah,
for,
yeah. Well, okay. Already a multimillionaire, up and coming multimillionaire. I mean, and that's
correct.
literally the difference. That's literally the
It
difference.
is.
Okay, you
Yeah.
know, and
And I
both
honestly,
both learn from each other, though. Both
yeah.
really learn from each other.
And
There's
I'm not
something.
sure that I knew how wealthy the XRP Army was going to be until the last week. I'm just going to say that.
You don't
That
want to like
coin,
throw out a number, you know, like
there's a lot of ridiculous numbers,
a
and they all make
gigawatt,
sense.
a gigawatt.
Yeah.
Any guesses a good one?
You know, right?
I will defer to Valhill Capital's 2-year study, and they have a realistic number. This is realistic number. Okay. After 2 years of study, somewhere between 2,500 and 5,000 a coin.
Where's my
Back to that
phone?
file.
Where's my wallet?
Well, going back to that file, do you guys remember the file? In fact, I wonder how quick I could. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not going to pull it up, but page 63 in that file has a ratio of 1 XRP to a certain precious metal. Okay.
Yes.
Now, when I first saw that, right, I was like, I'm not buying it right now, right? Got to do my homework, right?
Right.
But that seemed pretty far-fetched. I'm like, man, that sounds like a lot of hype here. But okay, let's see where it takes me. So I did some homework. I found out how much gold the U.S. Treasury allegedly has. Okay, I'm not there. I'm not counting it. That's why I say allegedly. Okay, but I figured out how many ounces. I did the math according to how much XRP was allegedly in circulation at the time. And then I was like, that's actually not a lot of gold or money on a global level. And then I counted, a whole bunch of other countries in there. And I was like, that might be valid. That's a possibility. So now here you are, Valco Capital, everybody.
Valhill. Yeah.
Oh, Valhill. Oh, dang. I'd have been off on a whole nother wild goose chase. Valhill. My bad.
Jimmy Valley at Valhill Capital.
Okay.
What's up, Jimmy?
What's up, Jimmy?
Jimmy's a good man.
That's that price that you're giving reference to there.
Yeah.
Totally valid just in that aspect too. So that's just,
yeah,
that's amazing. I'm gonna have to go look at that study.
I don't know that it's necessarily going to happen, next week, obviously, but it's going to take years. But
yeah,
like I think we all understand now these bull markets, you can expect somewhere between 30x to 100x realistically, it seems.
Yeah.
And then, it comes back down and then it goes another 30 to 100x. And so what is that? 8 years from now, 2 big bull markets. I don't know how long it takes.
I'd give you a short 6 and maybe a really long 8. And that's just me thinking here about the happening in Bitcoin and that, right? I mean, that's just, I mean, that's plausible, right?
It is. If you listen to Plan B's work lately, you ever follow his stuff? He was talking about recently, Willie Woo was bringing it up too, if you guys follow him. He was bringing it up that this adoption is going to be different from all the other adoptions. This adoption is institutional. It's, BlackRock, all the rest. This could get really ridiculously big. So, and like Simon, you and I were on the phone 2 hours a couple of weeks ago talking about how this whole thing is timing out. Like with the interest rates are so high right now, the economy starts to slow down, say this fall, like a lot of people are
Mhm.
predicting, we could end
Mhm.
up like needing to print more money, which they're already
Sure.
doing, but needing
Yeah.
to print more money, reducing interest rates, putting the cash back into the stock market or into, equities or assets, and
Mhm.
blowing the asset bubble up again right in time for the halving. And between now and say May of the halving, April, May,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's a real aligning of the planets, if you will, in so many different
Yes,
ways.
it is.
Also, somebody brought something up to me yesterday. I'm sorry, I'm hogging the whole camera
No,
here
no,
today, guys.
no,
But
no.
All good,
No,
this,
yeah.
man, this is this. I feel like I'm at the campfire right now, man. I'm ready to get out my
Yeah.
marshmallow. I'm like,
No,
tell me
I'm
more.
totally just
Tell
chilling.
me more.
I'm
This is
loving
great.
it.
Go ahead.
well,
Love
well,
it.
somebody hit me with something that just planted a seed, and I did a video about this morning. But it really makes a lot of sense because they've got 30 days here before the BRICS gold currency thing, which they're planning in August. That's yet another like dig of like, hey, they better do something quick. And they're trying to release the Fed Now coin, which has links to XRP or the RippleNet, and the whole thing is really. And there's so many economists out there right now that are going the opposite direction of, oh no, we're all going to crash and it's going to zero. And I'm like, I don't know. I just see way too
Yeah,
many
but man,
positives.
but that's, I
Yeah.
mean, for those my generation and back a little bit, right? So if you're like 45, 35, and 25, you know exactly what I'm about to say here. That is we have seen the old playbook multiple times. Like, and it's not like we were looking for it. It's been all over the internet, and we've just kind of caught on and we see it. And it's like if everybody over here is poo-pooing it, that's like
Yeah,
the cover fire. They're only doing that. Their only reach is the people that watch or listen to Channel 4, Channel 5, Channel 7, Channel 13, or
that's
whatever
right.
network it is, right? And like, but the rest of us that don't watch that,
Yeah,
it's like you can't stop us. I remember in that same conversation, Alan. How many wallets? How many XRP wallets are here in the U.S.? Was like 70. Oh, no. You went to the XRP event. I
yeah,
believe it was in Vegas,
yeah.
and you said there were 75,000 attendees, correct? Or
No,
thereabouts?
no. So, John Deaton represented 75,000 people in the
Oh,
Ripple case.
okay. Oh, that's right. That's right. Thank
Yeah,
you. That's where that number came from. So, I mean,
yeah,
that alone, okay, so that group of people, right?
yeah,
All hold on for dear life. They're all hodling and waiting for, some better price points. Uh that's a whole lot of brand new millionaires that they're gonna have to deal with in a different way, as more of a,
totally.
yeah, you're kind of on the same playing field and you kind of outnumber
Yeah,
us 10-1 right now, so we'll take it that way.
yeah.
So anyways, I sorry, I didn't mean to
It's
squirrel up on that, but that just sounds like a
no,
bad playbook that we've heard
you're
again.
absolutely correct. Lewis and I did a show about that not long ago, and that was
Mhm.
brought up in there. One of the things that was uh, I wanted to bring up about that show because I know a lot of people that are watching the show tonight probably saw that show. Um, one of the things that dawned on me that he and I had talked about that I think was cut out of the video was I brought up a point exactly what you just said. How many millionaires that would be created, okay,
Mhm.
from this
Mhm.
new wave of crypto, okay?
Sure.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That leads me into a whole nother thought that I'm really not happy about. But anyway, um, and I had made a point, the exact point that you just made, which was there's going to be a whole lot of millionaires. And he had made a point in the video in which he said, no, it's only like 0.05% of the population or something like that, which incidentally is massive. That's a big number. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
The point I made in the video that I think got cut out, well, in fact, I know it got cut out, was he was only doing the math on the Ripple or the XRP holders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You do have. Yeah.
I remember that, Dad, because that number sounded a little low. It
It
sounded
was
a little
really
low
low.
compared
And
to what we've been talking about.
And I didn't mean to necessarily call him out in the video, but I was like, well, wait a minute, dude, you're only calculating the XRP people. And that's how his mind was thinking. He's like, you could tell he just sort of was
why not?
awkward with it. And we moved on to something else. And
Sure.
so we didn't have another place to put it in, so we just didn't. We went on to the next subject. But it's such a great point. It's going to be massive, guys, and how many people are going to be involved. Now I'm really going to steal the camera because I'm so happy for everybody that owns crypto. I'm so absolutely annoyed when I'm reading documents like I've read over the last few days that mainstream media should be screaming from the rooftops to everybody who makes less than $50,000 a year to buy now. They're not.
Nope.
There's no less than 60 banks, global banks that I just told you guys about, and all of the top 10 financial corporations in the world, the BlackRocks, the Grayscales, the the Fidelity. We know who they all are. They're all in.
Yeah.
So the top 60 banks and the top financial networks are all in. Why is Bloomberg and anybody else on TV not telling everybody and their brother to mortgage the house?
I actually have a question on that. Okay. I have a question just on that. Yeah. When have they ever done that?
Yeah.
This is my point.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Good. Because I'm like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I remember the .com days. B-Man, do you remember that a little bit at all?
Oh,
the
yeah.
.com?
Yeah, okay. a little bit.
Oh, a little bit. So that was just kind of in my prime. Or I shouldn't say my prime. More or less my new
that
excitement
was 2000,
of investing.
Yeah.
Yes, like that was like right when I was really advantageously hungry about I want to be a multimillionaire. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm with it. So what do I got to do? Right. And I heard about the .com and I was just like, how do I get in? Where do I go? What do I do? And it was like this really long process versus how crypto is now. Right. But I'm pretty sure they didn't say it then because I watched the nightly news with Brian Williams for a very long time, and I didn't hear us think about buy this, do this. I didn't hear nothing like that.
No.
Yeah. Let's just take those politicians and those economists, this is what we know through time. And it feels like their communities somehow are a little more locked in. They're a little more, it's a little more centralized. And yes, we may be on this new media train and we're running on a centralized server right now, but what the three of us are doing with our channels is trying to create that open, everybody can listen to this, everybody can join in. We want you in our community, and we're here to be honest with you. And if they try to stop us from being honest, we'll go somewhere else, and we'll be honest with you over there.
Another platform. Yeah.
And that's just, it's like media 101 through our lives, and it's so sad that they're not talking about it. It's so sad.
You guys, here's another one that's fun. You guys know I trade Forex, or did for a long time, and I've been really looking at the charts lately. And I'm a scalper, so I trade really short periods of time. So I was I went back and I looked at XRP, and I looked at the launch. Okay. Do you know that there was 18 minutes of green candles before it was announced on television?
I believe that. I believe that. I totally believe that. I believe that because
somebody knew something.
Yeah. I believe that because I have watched.
You can look it
I have
up. It's
watched.
clear as day.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've watched like new coins
18 minutes,
launch
you could make a
on.
lot of money.
Oh my gosh, 18 minutes a lifetime and as
That's
doing
Yeah.
day trader
And
as a scalper.
all
brutal,
of the politicians got in, I guarantee you. I
I'm sure
guarantee
they
that.
did.
They're waiting for their community buddies to get in and then
That's
pump that price
campaign
up
money.
and dump it. Pump
They
it.
knew the verdict at least 18 minutes before everybody else did.
Yeah. Yep.
That is what it is.
That makes
It
me
is.
sick.
It's so weird to look at it on a chart too. You're like,
That is
why is it
disgusting.
spiking?
Yeah. You're like,
Why is it going
going on?
straight up?
It's kind of like looking out your window at the beach. Wait, why is the tide out right now?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Where's my chart? Where's
Yeah.
my tide chart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run.
yeah, run.
My
Yeah,
dad,
run
my
for
dad
the
taught
hills.
me. My dad taught me so much about forex, Simon. The big takeaways are, the need to like have, large accounts to be able to trade multiple accounts.
Yes, yeah.
To create
Mhm.
exponential growth. So you need to
Yes.
have a certain gigantic number. I think it was like back 10 years ago, it was like $1 million or something, Dad.
Yeah.
So and then
Per account, right? Per
Yeah.
account, right? Yeah.
your
Thanks, Obama.
chart, your charts, like, the people, are given, this, whereas, others can have your
Yeah.
little second charts. You can
Yeah.
get in and out in a second, whereas
Oh
we
yeah.
can't. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
In other words, they don't allow you to hedge anymore, or they've made it more difficult to hedge, which is
Mm-hmm.
exactly what Wall Street does on every single
Yeah.
trade.
Yeah.
That's what
Absolutely.
derivatives are. It's a big giant hedge.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they keep the whole Ponzi alive. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what though? I mean, look, there's always a
Ponzi's.
loser. There's always a loser. There's
Yeah.
always a loser. And we can go into a little bit of universe and real quick. Universe
Yeah.
will always give you a loser. And even if you're one putting your finger on the scale, tipping the scale, so to speak, universe will come out and just chop it off eventually. Some way,
Oh, yeah.
shape, or
Yeah.
form, you're going to lose the finger, the hand, maybe the arm. So
Yeah.
I'm
There's a
of the
give and
mindset
take.
of like in some way the scales will tip back to balance per se, in a manner of speaking.
Sure.
Back to the 0.5% XRP Army new
Yeah.
millionaires only. I mean, plus other coins. That
Yeah.
sounds like a chopping of the finger and tipping the scales back.
Yes.
To the everyday Joe. On to the topic real quick that you mentioned there, Alan. You're talking about just the $50,000 thing. Okay. If you make less than $50,000, I would say if you make less than $100,000 a year, you still should. You should find a way to get some XRP. There's some other cryptos out there too, but we're just talking about XRP right now, and that's totally cool. Totally down for it. Especially with everything that has happened. That's something that I literally try to push, is for when I say the little guy, that's not a shot. I'm not making any fun of anybody,
of course.
at all.
Yeah.
But it's like this is your time to do something, to upgrade your seat a little bit, to create that seed money that where maybe you watch YouTube and you're watching what's her name? She talks about buying the boring businesses. Oh, she's Cody Sanchez, I think is her name. She talks about buying a business and how to do it, and you could do sellers finance, this, that, and the other. But where are you going to get some seed money to start, buying that old business? You can get it from crypto. How can you do some real estate deals? Sometimes you're going to need some funds. So can you take $300 that took you 6 months to save, put that into an investment, wait your 6 to 8 years and go,
Yeah.
that is the starting business money. That will be this. And
That's right.
you must make a plan for it, people. You really must. I mean, it's great to go, I'm going to have this X amount of dollars, and that's great. But you must create at least a plan or have ideas of what you're going to do after you receive
Yeah.
this wonderful wealth, because that's how
I
you
Yeah.
keep
did exactly. So well
Yep.
put.
Yeah.
You sound like Mr. Kiyosaki. And
it. Well, he didn't get
Robert.
that way by being dumb. I'll
That's
tell you
right.
that much. But
Mhm.
it's
Yeah, it's a
it's just
great
sound
book.
principles. It's
I
I
I did
didn't
a
go ahead.
I did a video yesterday. I don't know if you two saw it, but
I did. It was just
Mhm.
on that. Yep.
Yeah,
you
it
know
was.
what, guys?
Loved it.
It's really weird how much I enjoyed my video that I did yesterday. I was so It's weird. I don't normally like my videos, and that one I
Uh-huh.
really enjoyed. I don't know what it was about it, but I want to address this. I got a lot of questions about the statement of borrowing against your own wealth. Okay.
Okay.
And that's how the rich get richer. And I got so
Sure.
many questions like, well, I don't understand how am I going to borrow against my own money? How am I going to make money to pay it back? It's like, I understand that logic because most of us are debt slaves. But
Mhm.
Absolutely.
exactly what Simon was just saying. I don't care what it is. There has to be something in your neighborhood, your town, or whatever that is a business that you look at and you go, wow, that thing's a cash cow. Holy smokes, I like it. Where I live, a car wash would be worth millions. Okay, it just would be. and,
True.
and
I might do that just for the joke, man. I
I
might do that.
swear, it's the damn
You're not
truth.
We're
wrong.
in the wrong business,
I
Dad.
know right where you. I know exactly. Well, I mean, don't know exactly where you. I
Yeah,
know the area.
every car I see in my town is dusty and dirty.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like,
Pro tip. That was a pro
but
tip, everybody.
whatever
Mhm.
it might be, there's all kinds of little businesses that are cash cows. Well,
Yes.
the biggest reason why you don't own that company is because you don't have the 100 grand or 500 grand laying around that you could borrow against and without paying some ridiculous fees when you try and get a business loan from a bank. But when
Right.
you're borrowing from your own equity, it's
Hmm.
cheap. In fact,
Yeah.
it's 0% interest if you pay it back within a period of time. Sometimes it's as long as 5 years with no
Hmm.
penalty. You can even do that through Fidelity. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
when you're borrowing your own capital, it's cheap. So you buy or build your car wash and it pays the loan back. It's real
Hmm.
simple.
Yeah.
Whether it be a solid investment, whether it just be more Fidelity stocks or dividend payers or whatever it may be that pays more than what you owe in interest on your own money. By the way,
Hmm.
you can't default on your own money. They can take the
No,
coins away
that's
from you,
that's the
but
beautiful part.
yeah, they'll take your XRP away from you if you don't end up
Sure.
paying the principal back.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
it's all tax deferred. That's
Hmm.
why the wealthy pay cash for a house. So they can
Yeah.
borrow against the $10 million house 15 different times. That's
Yes.
how they make money. And there was so many people that asked that question. It's a brilliant question. I'm glad you asked, but there's so many different ways to make money with money. But
It
you
is.
and I have
Hmm.
the disadvantage. One of my favorite people I ever worked for, a billionaire, and he told me this, and I'll never forget it, and I'll repeat it a million more times. Said the difference between where you sit, Alan, and where I sit is about, now remember this is 20 years ago, about $10,000. I said, oh, really, Dan? Tell me more. And he said,
Hmm.
the problem that you have is that the kids need shoes. Now the car needs tires. The laundry machine went out. Okay, the roof started leaking. You're constantly paying catch up. and you can never put the money aside, and you're constantly putting money on credit cards, which takes you what would have been your savings, okay, that you could have saved the 10 grand for when a friend, a business opportunity, or a great opportunity comes your way where you have 10K, I'll say 20K today or more, and you're able to lay it down and let it roll. And then turn that 10 into 20, that 20 into 100, that 100 into millions.
Yes.
And nobody, because you're always buying new shoes, new clothes, and new washers.
And I'll tell you what.
Simple logic.
The generation, my kids' generation, right? The barely 20s, the 21s, the 20 to 23 range, right? They are hip
Z
to
or
that.
X?
Honestly, I don't
Gen
even know.
Zs.
I think there's well, there's, let's see.
Gen
I was
Zs.
78.
I have no
Gen
idea.
Zs, yeah,
I have
the
no
Zs.
idea.
Okay,
Gen
so
X is after you guys. And you guys are
where's the millennials? Because I'm not a millennial. I'm 78. I'm barely.
Yeah. No, you're Gen X.
Yeah.
It goes baby boom, Gen X, millennials, Z.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Sorry, millennials.
I don't.
Didn't mean to forget about you. Please don't hate.
I don't want them making up names to divide us. I'll have none of it.
Yeah.
I'll have none of it.
All I'm saying, the people that are 2 decades,
my brain for that, guys.
The people that are 2
Maybe
decades
that's a
behind
young guy
me.
saying that, but
the individuals that are 2 decades behind me, get it. I mean, like they see it, and I honestly attribute that to everybody that's contributed on any type of a video platform, podcast, anything. That knowledge is coming out in an auditory way as opposed to a book. I mean, it's working. But they, when I say they get it, they're grasping at it, right? Whereas myself, and people that are older than me in their 20s did not have that. Like the billionaire that schooled you on the difference between me and you is about $10,000, and that's absolutely true. I can count so many times where I had a wonderful opportunity that totally could have changed my life within 3 to 5 years. And I mean changed, okay? That doesn't mean I'm super wealthy, blah, blah, blah. Change means I have now the opportunity to do less work as an employee and concentrate on my businesses and investments, right? Where I can go, actually, boss, can I only work 30 hours a week? I'm really going on this business that I've been continuing to tell you about, and so on and so forth. And that is a good problem, a good situation to be in. That's the change where you're not worried about the shoes, the tires, the etc. And honestly, that comes way before that $10,000. It's budgeting. I mean, it's budgeting, and it's also a mindset. And it's not just having your mindset on something that's really like knowing yourself. Something, again, richest man in Babylon, rich dad, poor dad. They talk about emotions, okay? And every trader that has traded crypto or Forex or whatever, if you are excited or angry and you're about to make a trade, you're going to screw it up. You really are, because you're down here, you're trying to play catch up. So now you're angry. It's like the gamer that keeps getting killed by everybody else. They want to throw the controller or playing Mario Brothers for the first time. Anyways, the emotion has to be removed, and you really have to dig in deep to yourself to figure out when you're excited, when you're angry, when you're sad, and go, you know what? This is not a good time to do this right now. I need to take a step back and go do something else and clear my head before I come back to this. And if I'm not able to do that, then I need to implement protocol number 2. Better to not make a poor decision and save what I got, as opposed to make a poor decision and lose everything, and you can. And I've been there.
Oh yeah,
I haven't
that's
lost
right.
everything, but I've lost enough to go,
Oh, I have.
I'm doing something wrong. I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
What's going on? And
Mhm.
it's me. It's me. Is there something wrong? The emotion, and
It's
that's something
it's really
learn.
it's so valuable to in today's world, and I'm not just saying this because I have a YouTube channel. In today's world, we, we have the ability to network
Yeah,
in a way that we never were able to do before.
exactly.
And it's huge, guys. And
Massive.
I tell
Look at
everybody
us.
this. Yeah,
Look at us.
exactly.
Look at us.
Look
Look
at
how
the
we met.
people we're touching, and
Mhm.
we're able to share a little bit of wisdom that we've had over our lifetimes. And what happens is people share their wisdom with you, and then you grow. And then my channel, people start giving me information, and then it's a network, and then we are a group, and then we are an army, and then you are part of a money machine that is
Yeah.
just, you don't even know where it comes from. It just starts
No,
coming in, and you're like, well,
it does.
I didn't even.
Abundance. The
Right.
abundance.
And
The
it's
abundance reveals
because,
itself. Yeah.
right. It's so true that when you take even a $50 an hour job, okay, it's capped. You can only make $50 an hour.
Yeah.
But when you start a YouTube channel or whatever form of networking that you choose to do, it could be even just Twitter channel or whatever your thing is, and you have value. We all have value. And there's a bunch of people that want to hear from you, and they want to hear your life experience, and they want to hear
Yeah.
your knowledge. And
Yeah.
when they do, you resonate with each other. And
Yeah.
that becomes, whether people are just watching commercials in the future, that's going to be generating, in my opinion, I've been saying this on my show forever. I think ultimately social media is going to be 1/3 for the viewer, 1/3 for the content provider, and 1/3 for the network who presents the show.
Yeah. Yep.
So you're
Sounds
going to
about
get
right.
paid for all of the commercials you watch.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's where we're headed.
When
And
crypto and decentralization gets hip, when it gets real hip,
There's
we're
the
gonna see that.
basic attention
And
token, or basic
yeah,
basic
yeah,
attention token over on the Brave browser. You sit there and go through ads,
exactly.
and you get a little bit. That's a real world. It's happening now.
Yep.
Example.
I've been on Brave for 5 years. Still am.
let me speak
See,
on guys. Let me speak on
do it, my man.
I've been lucky enough to have lucky or not have a computer in my hands most of my life, and you know growing up through the 90s and 2000s, and you start to learn about, or you don't in school, all of our economic systems and tools that we can use and we can trade
Mhm.
with Wall Street, and bonds and T-bills, and what
Right.
would you like to purchase, what
Hmm.
speaking to blockchain, and just blockchain coins and tokens are powerful economic tools.
Oh yeah.
And for the people who haven't quite dug in as deep as maybe the three of us have, we're talking borderless, we're talking honest, we're talking about security, we're
Hmm.
talking about loans, we're talking about the ability to create a living, we're talking about how to trade and grow and
Hmm.
share.
Hmm.
And it in the past,
Wow.
what disenchanted me is I felt like such an individual in it. I felt like, okay, I got zero education in high school and college about
Right.
money, how to use it, how to handle it,
Huh.
Everybody did. Yeah.
what my bank's
Funny
doing,
thing.
everything. It was all my own studies. And
Right.
you come out of that and you're an adult and you're trying to get through all this. And now, fast forward to now, I have a community of people who do this. We
Yeah.
we we are sharing openly, and we're giving we are the college for each other. We're the
Absolutely.
doers,
Yes.
and we're the guys with the wallets. I say it every time I do a crypto video. It's like, guys, I've tried everything. I've tried everything. I've worked on creating blockchains in school. Like
That's cool. That's cool,
it's
man.
so
That's
That's too
cool,
cool,
dude.
isn't it?
Yeah,
I
I mean,
love
to tell
that.
your grandkids that, like, oh, I actually played with that in my spare time.
Actually
this
went to
Just for
school
fun.
for that.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah,
cool,
I
man.
actually, and thanks to you, Dad, you gave me the idea and inspired me in a time
That's
where
dope. That's really
I
cool.
was really rolling. I had a lot of momentum going, Simon. It
Cool.
was like
Yeah.
great timing.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep.
I'm gonna do night school, and I'm gonna learn everything I can about cryptocurrency and blockchain
Do it.
technology
Love it.
and all this stuff.
Yes.
And then my dad wants to do this, and all of a sudden that momentum, and then you get a community like this, and the people that are calling my dad and meeting you,
I know.
and it's like
It's
this is
crazy, right?
completely changed our lives,
Oh yeah.
and it doesn't just touch money. It's your data and everything that's gonna be
Your
so
network.
critical to us as we get stuck on this, even more entrenched in this. It's just gonna be to our own advantage to understand it and to
Brent,
use
Yeah.
it.
I can't wait until you go to one of these shows
Yeah, I
where
can't either.
virtually everybody in the crowd knows who you are,
Yeah.
and you being such a people person,
Yeah.
and
That's
and
so
they all
cool.
want to know you, and they all want to talk with you, and it's such a unique experience, and it's not it's not like, oh, it's just the content providers are the cool people. No,
No,
that
no,
isn't
No,
what
no,
it was at
no,
all.
man. It's the
It's
connection,
no.
man.
everybody in the
It's
room.
literally the
Yeah,
connections. It's
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Oh,
sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah.
you,
jump you there, but yeah,
yeah,
that's
totally.
exactly
Yeah,
what it is. Yeah.
It's meeting the
you've
Simons
all,
of the world. Period.
you all, you know what it is we all had the aha light bulb moment of, I know where this is going, but we couldn't prove it. We didn't have any
Nope.
proof, but we had conviction. We knew it was going to happen, and the rest of the world couldn't see what we all could see. And we try and talk to people about it, and they can't hear us. And then you fill yourself in a room with 500 people who can hear you,
Oh
and
man,
you're
it's
like,
like you found your
oh
long
my
lost
God.
family. You're like,
Yeah,
thank
Whoa.
you.
it's too good.
So
It's too
okay,
good.
so I don't know
Too
Yeah.
about
good. I
you,
miss
but I'm
seminars.
sure there's a few other people out there that can relate, both men and men that have a significant other.
Yes.
So I went to the Texas event that we all met up.
Mhm.
My wife
Yes.
was so supportive because she's like, you really need some cryptocurrency buddies.
Yeah.
She
And
and
look at us now.
at first I was like,
We did too.
I'm like, dang, dude, like that's kind of cold. Like, I mean, you're speaking some truth there. I don't disagree with you, but like, ouch, man. You know what? She couldn't have been more right of how bad I actually really needed to connect with and I call us Cryptopians, fellow Cryptopians. I needed
I
to
love
connect
that
with,
term.
yeah.
Yeah.
I need to connect with my fellow Cryptopians out there. And
I think you coined that term, did you?
Dude, I've never heard that before.
coining
Never
it right
heard
now.
that.
Simon Says Crypto. If you are into cryptocurrency, you are a Cryptopian.
I love it. That's
Dude.
good.
Yeah,
I've heard you say
put
that
it on a
before.
t-shirt.
It's good.
Yeah, but that's what we are. Like
Yeah.
collectively. I mean, look. Okay, you can be the Maxis, you can be the Army, you can be the Shibas, you can be the Doge, you
Yeah.
can be whatever you want. But we are all crypto. All right, and when we
Yeah.
all come together as fellow Cryptopians, the connections
Mhm.
we have and
Yep.
and what we can do together, I've seen it. It's amazing. It is amazing.
I've got to tell you, I'm
Amazing.
sitting there and I'm talking to this guy. Okay. Now he works for Corda, which we all know. And I'm sure most of the people who are watching us have heard of Corda. He's a programmer from Corda.
Okay.
And I couldn't wait to get to talk to him because he was kind of busy with some other people, and I knew who he was, and I was like, I gotta get over to. I got a couple of questions for him. So I finally get close enough to him, and this guy is speaking in code, like code, like not English, and I'm following every word of it, and
Really?
it all
isn't that
made
cool?
sense. Yeah,
Isn't that cool when that happens?
and
You're
I'm
like,
just
wait,
sitting there
whoa, I get this.
soaking this up. And I'm like, I get that. Oh, I get that. I get that. And we walk away, and there's this guy who walks up to me and he goes, I didn't understand a damn thing that guy just said, but I know this. I like it.
Yeah, I
I
like
don't know what he
it.
said, but I really like it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we've all been
that's
there, right? We've
crypto.
all been I don't know what the heck you just said, but I'm in.
I'm
Yeah.
in.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I'm
Oh yeah.
buying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good.
I love it when that happens. When you
It's
really start to really
yeah.
understand the technicals, you know,
Right.
and how
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
how the connections are really being established at at a technical level. You're just like, this is amazing. And then you go, wait a minute, I totally understood, like really understood. I can see it in my
Yeah.
brain. I'm seeing how the connections. I literally could go explain that to somebody else,
Yeah.
that is at
The
least at my level, aside from the guy that was like, I don't know what you just said, but okay, let's go.
yeah. I remember the first time I heard DeFi and it had it explained to me. And I was like, okay, I still don't know where the 8% comes from, but okay. All right, I'm
Right.
cool with it. And then
Yeah.
it was like,
That's
and
what
then the
school is
second
about.
time I heard it, I was like, oh, oracles.
Mhm.
Oh, I see. That has to be fed, and it spits out the other side. And I'm like, okay, I can relate to that. It
Right.
totally made sense to me once I
Right.
understood what Oracle's position in the calculation was. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, DeFi's easy now. I got it. But
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but in the first couple times you hear it, you're like, that. How do
Huh?
they make money at that?
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. You're like,
Yeah,
uh,
the first video I ever
yeah.
heard about oracles just absolutely blew my brain pan open. I was like,
yeah,
he was speaking in code. He was speaking in code, and I didn't understand it. And I was like,
right.
I'm gonna need to break down this 20-minute video for a couple days to
Yeah.
just get a feel.
How many
And
how many times have you done that in your crypto journey, watching videos where you're like, pause, what do you say? What? No. God,
Right.
like blurt it out right there. What did that person say? What was that? Oh, okay. I need to like look up that word. What does that mean? What does that mean? And yeah,
I
done it
do
so
it
many times.
every once in a while. I tell my dad this, Simon, and he'll do a video where I have to rewatch it like 3 or 4 times. I'm
Mhm.
just like
Mhm.
I obviously I'm a super fan. This is my guy right here.
Oh, I
But
know your guys' relationship is
man,
awesome. It
yeah, I
really
love
is.
my dad to death. And
It's
Yeah,
good
it's
and
stuff,
awesome.
man.
like
It is.
We're
but
lucky.
the last one was the Lewis Jackson video. It was like just pouring out of him. It was just, it was like when the
It
universe
was.
catches you and you're the stream and it's
Yeah.
just flowing. And
Mhm.
like, all those ideas and all these things that he's been researching and all these conversations that he's been having with different people. And my dad's already a good storyteller. And so when he gets in that zone, I'm just like, no way, dude. Did that just come out of you, man? Like, yes, yes. I
I
love that. I love
there
that.
That's cool.
somebody
Yeah,
somebody
me
had a
too.
comment.
I do love that. I do love that.
Somebody had a comment about my video last night, and she was so sweet about it, and she was so kind, and it just hit me. I was like, yeah, I don't even remember like the last 5 minutes of that video. When you guys do a video
Yeah.
and like
Yes.
it just comes out of you, and
Yes.
you
Yeah.
really, and then when you hear it played back, like she's like, the last 5 minutes of your video was like, one of the most incredible videos I've ever watched. And I was like, oh man, maybe I should watch that again. I don't remember any of that. I
Right.
was like,
Right.
Dad, I
wow,
loved it.
where did that come from? Well,
It
we know
had
where it came from.
It
Yeah.
had the
Teamwork, man.
aura of like the one on the rock that you did. It had that aura. It had that energy.
Yeah.
But you were talking about like digital assets, and you were just dug in. You were trenched in, and it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Like we're, and
That's Stork,
you're
guys.
sitting
That's
in your
not
lawn
Alan's.
chair. You're sitting in your lawn chair, and you're sipping, and you're just like, dude,
Yeah.
we're so winning this thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's so refreshing to feel that way, guys. After this recent past, you know, it's like
Yeah.
Oh,
we had
well,
such
all
a
of it.
wonderful, we had that wonderful bowl, and then you know, the only reason I care about that, like Simon, I always talk about like I couldn't care less about price, because I'd rather see more people get in,
Right.
just get in. I want to
Just
see
get in.
everybody. I want to
Yeah,
see
Right.
everybody
just
get
get
in.
in.
I want
Like
to see
literally
everybody
get
get
in.
into like the top 10 cryptos. Like if everybody could do that and we could all trade that, we're good, right? Basically.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Well,
like,
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. Like I've heard people. Your dad has talked about this, and other like-minded individuals such as your dad, where they talk about uh um we're here in a specific time, okay, in the existence of Earth, okay, and I've heard this for a while, of that. I've heard that you know you chose to be here, or you're here to have these life missions, etc., right?
sure.
And I've heard everybody in the crypto space, well, not everybody, but it's a common a theme or saying that we are in a very, very exciting time, because the individuals that know the financial, the markets, sound money, fake money, the ones who have already been around the block, look at this and go, oh man, not only is this just pay dirt, but these individuals, like your father, know what to do with that pay dirt after it's pay dirt. And you
Yep.
build and you create, and you literally take this world not to the next level. You skip a couple, because that's just already in play, right? You're, instead of building one floor at a time, now you can build 5. Bam, bam,
Yeah.
bam.
Yeah.
But you enjoy each one of those floors that was built. And I mean, and that's I'm like that part.
Yeah.
I'm really, really, really seeing it now. You know, I'm really, really seeing that, and that's got me very excited. But again, I have to keep my emotions in check. I'm like, come on. I mean, let's just still got to put our tools on. We still got to build the 5 floors. Okay, let's just relax.
Yeah.
We still have a job to do. We have to be safe. But man, you're absolutely right. The energy.
I was gonna read you guys a law of attraction quote. It's like a money and
let's
law
go.
of attraction cards.
Yeah.
It's exactly what Simon just said. It is basically exactly what Simon said. This is it. Okay, let's lock this in right here.
Do it.
The Cryptonians, let's lock it in, people. You are meant to live an expansive, exhilarating, good feeling experience. It was your plan when you made the decision to become focused in your physical body in this time-space reality. You were born knowing that you are a powerful being, that you are good, that you are the creator of your experience. And the law of attraction, the essence of that which is like unto itself, is drawn, is the basis of the universe. And you knew it would serve you well, and so it has.
Yeah.
So it has. And the level,
Amen.
the
Goosebumps,
level,
man. Goosebumps. I got goosebumps right now
That's it.
everywhere from that,
That's
man.
it.
That is I love that, man. That's awesome.
That is good stuff.
We don't have any crypto friends either, and so we go to Texas, you know, and we meet somebody like Simon, you know, who years later we're like, dude, I want to be on your show. We got to have you. Like,
Yeah.
we don't want to do it without you. Like, we don't want to do this life without you, let alone
Right.
money and
good.
crypto stuff. It's like the whole thing
It is.
It's
starts
too
to
good.
feel
It is.
expansive.
It does.
And it does. You guys are both right. It draws a very sharp crowd. Like, for anybody who hasn't
does.
gone to any
It
crypto
really does.
seminars,
Mhm.
I was blown away at the quality and the type of people. Very open-minded, very intelligent.
Yeah.
I've said this before, but my wife can be a skeptic. I know that's hard to believe an attorney would be a skeptic, but she's very critical of a lot of things, and that's kind of her job. So when she went to the show in Vegas, and she's standing there talking to people next to me, with me, and we walk away, and her first take was, I don't think I've ever been in a room with more intelligent people in my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was taken by the knowledge, by the enthusiasm, by the how well spoken and how well they just held themselves, and they knew who they were, they knew what they owned, they knew where it was going. Like, everything about this group reeks of confidence and knowledge of where they're at, which is, as you just read, Brennan, complete law of attraction, is not an accident as to why we are here.
Right.
Yeah.
I need to say something because we have I get a lot of comments, okay, whenever we talk about law of attraction on this show.
Okay.
It's very important to me. I believe, okay, this is my own beliefs. Everybody has their own. I believe in law of attraction. I believe that when God or Christ was walking this planet, because there are many Christians that think that law of attraction is some evil, dark spirit thing. And it's like, I don't know how you come up with that, but okay, I respect your opinions and your views, or some minister has told you that, or whatever it might be. I don't think anybody exemplified the law of attraction more than what Christ lived in the years on this planet. He brought animals, healing, all of it, changed weather conditions, whatever it may be. He was the embodiment of law of attraction. What he perceived or would like to become, it became instantly.
Yep.
So before you go judging anybody who brings up law of attraction as some dark light, I would suggest that you may want to open your mind just slightly into the fact that maybe Christ knew this long before we had the term law of attraction.
Yeah.
I would like to add or piggyback onto that.
Yeah.
So if one would like to see the law of attraction, if you've had a bad day, everybody got in your way, work was just horrible, everything fell apart, I want you to think about how you woke up. Okay. And the day prior and the day prior to that. Now, it might just seem like it's normal to you, but if that means you're normally earmuffs, everybody with children, if that means you're normally pissed off, then that's going to manifest itself into a real not very good day. Okay.
Right. Yes.
And when you do goodness, good acts, right? Small ones, just small ones. And then you really think about it a couple days later of how that goodness actually randomly came back into your life with some other type of gesture, help, whatever.
So true.
That's the law of attraction. Okay.
Yeah.
Very much so.
It really, you put the intention out there, right? but it comes back in a whole different way. And I literally can tell you this right now. I got laid off from work. I'm a union worker. It happens, no big deal, right? And I, like 3 days later, I'm having phone calls with Alan, and I'm telling him, hey man, I'm ready to get back on my channel because work was real busy, and that's just my life, right?
Yeah.
So back in my chair, got back to get on some crypto stuff, etc. I have some crypto businesses that I finally made my decisions on of how I can really do the business, and which is my goal, to help people get into crypto. I have a neighbor. He also got laid off. His wife and him are starting. Well, she already has a marketing business, right? I have been since Texas, been wanting, how can I get in my local community at a business level to attract those individuals so I can start those conversations, create those leads. How do I do that? I know I need to do that, but how do I do it? And here it is. It's boom, there they are. They literally had a conversation with me. Hey, you're still doing crypto? Yeah. Do you have anybody pushing some things out there for you? And I'm like, no. And we're talking some social media stuff that I have been trying to put into play. Again, just don't have the time to do it. I need somebody else to help me do it. Right there they are. Here I am on, with the crew, loving it. Right back in the chair, loving it. Like okay, so this is law of attraction. I want this. It's coming. Okay, I need to get ready. I need to get ready. Right. And that's part of the other thing. Universe favors the prepared. That's just my opinion, as well as others. But I've just seen it. When I'm prepared, things just come a little easier. But that's how the universe has worked. And when I least expect it, I get phone calls. I have phone calls with friends about cryptocurrencies and XRP and a whole bunch of other stuff. I was given a PDF from a random person, in another group, and I shared it with friends. And now here's these connections. Again, universe, law of attraction. It's literally happening. Yeah. Yeah, I'm 100% on board with that. Sorry, I just had to testify. I had to testify, man.
So great. There'll be no sorry.
That's it. I need to jump in right here. I've known Simon for, I don't know, 4 years now, something like that, 4 or 5 years maybe. It was pre-COVID for sure. One of the things that he excels at, obviously, as watching the show, you already see he's well-spoken and understands crypto, and he's a good man. You can tell that just by his actions. But he helps people, and there's many of you people out there who aren't maybe really good with your keys, your password, or something's hung up, and you don't know where it is, and it's lost in cyberspace. That's my weakness, actually, is moving accounts around. And yesterday I was on the phone with him, and we have a Bittrex account, which everybody and their brother knows went belly up or is in bankruptcy. And like last week, we're like, hey, let's try and get our Digibyte coins out of there and we're like, oh no, they're locked up. We can't get them out.
Right.
Shout out to Digibyte.
Yeah, go Digi, baby. Go Digi. One of the first coins I also got into. That was cool.
Still my favorite.
Yeah. But it was like, Simon's like, no, no, I just got in the other day. And I was like, no, man, mine's locked up. He's like, no, hey, let me try and get in with you, Al. Boom, boom, boom. He opens up his wallet. He's like, no, I'm in, man. I'm in. I think you should try it again. So I get off the phone with him. I immediately go over and I'm like playing around with it. And boom, we opened up. We got it. We transferred it out.
Yes, Mom. I was going to ask you after the show. I really wanted to know. I was like, I wonder if he needed some help or if he got it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Simon did, yes.
I didn't realize how many of them there were. It was like, it was a big number. But anyway.
Did you show the wife? Did you show the wife to go see how many it was?
No. We did it together. We did it together. Which was, hey, all right, because it was in her name too. And anyway, she doesn't own cryptocurrencies. It's a running joke we have. But Simon is the guy, and you can get him through me. That if you're having trouble, or you're stumped, or you don't know where your coins went, or you sent it to these people and they don't know anything about what you're talking about, he's the guy you want to contact, because most of us know our wallets pretty well. But in the world that we live in right now, the way they're closing down off ramps and making laws crazy, especially in this country, we need people like Simon out there who are honest. Two, I've known for a long time, and you can believe that he's going to do everything he can to, especially now that he's laid off, get to the bottom of it and find your coins. So I really wanted to say that, because I have first world experience. It happened for me yesterday, and he really helped me out.
Wow.
Thanks again,
Alan,
Simon.
I'm glad. I appreciate that, and honestly, that's I like doing that. I've helped out. Just a little backstory. It's really word of mouth, but I've come across a lot of people that, like in the Army, know a lot about the coin. Okay, but where do you put it? Which wallet? How does that wallet work different than this wallet? Those tiny little details actually are really crucial. And the on ramps and the off ramps, are just like any other on ramp or off ramp on a freeway. All of a sudden, there's an orange sign that says "Get the heck over." And you're like, "Oh, wait, I got to get off here." I love helping people to get their coins and understand how to get them, where to put them, and start planning out your next moves and being aware of that stuff. And if you have any problems understanding that, need help walking through that, I'm totally for it. So Alan, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Of course.
That is such a cool point. That is so valuable. Like, everybody, just think about this one. Like, say we go into a little run here in the next year.
Yeah.
And how many people haven't opened their wallet in a year? Year and a half.
Yeah. Yes. If you're doing cold storage, I get it. It's cold storage. You want to keep it safe. Want to limit that exposure. Do you remember how to open it up? Maybe there's up to maybe I'm not being funny, man. There's people like,
that's what I'm saying.
How to do this. It's like, which wallet do you have? This one. Okay, they did an update. They moved that button here, and it's literally just sometimes it's just the app that you might be using. They move stuff around, and I know what it's like when my grocery store moves stuff around just because they think it's going to look pretty.
Yeah.
Where's the sugar? I need the sugar, right? I'm glad we're talking about that, man, because seriously, really update your wallets, reopen them, send coins back and forth again. Just maybe you're out of practice, and maybe you're not. I don't know, but it is a valid point. Passwords.
I love to do it back and forth with friends. Just the beginning, learning to, hey man, I'm gonna send you something. I'm gonna send you something. Send me something back.
Yeah. So me and a coworker on the DigiByte, right? So DigiByte was only like a half a penny or whatever. So we downloaded the wallet, and it was such a small transaction fee that me and my coworker, we'd go get coffee every day at break, and somebody else would pay cash. The other one would just send DigiByte to the other person for compensation for the cash. And we just pretty much passed the same DigiByte, back around or whatever. Or then we started doing, hey man, can you spot me $20 and I'll send you some Digi? Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, here you go. You're paid, get paid. And here's, oh, it was so cool. And to be doing that, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be great. And that actually took me back to when I first heard about Bitcoin. It was from a younger brother, and it was March of 2009, and he told me about it. And when he first told me about it, I was like, well, this sounds like kind of like some like internet money kind of a thing. And he's like, yeah, I guess, yeah, that's about right. And for me, that clicked, because I'm like, oh well, yeah, internet's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. Businesses are going to be transacting in the future. Yeah, this is great. you know, and then, you know, of course I fell off the bandwagon for a little bit on Bitcoin
Yeah.
and other cryptos. And then, you know, I got back in finding all these other coins, how to get them, right? Because at the time, Coinbase, you can only get 3 coins on there at the time. Like that's how old
Yeah,
school, you know,
remember
I
those
am. And I
days?
know,
Yeah.
You're old school, bro.
when my brother got Bitcoin, I was like, he was telling me about the wallet, right? But the copy, file, insert code, and all these rudimentary code things that you had to do at the time to send your Bitcoin with your, you know, and open up your wallet and do all these stuff. He's like, I'm still learning this, dude. There's a lot of steps. And, you know, my brother was 19, and like, you know, most 19-year-olds don't write stuff down. He wrote those steps down. Because well,
Nice.
it was just that involved, right? It was just that involved. He's like,
It
well, you know, I'm
was.
still learning this. So, you know, fast forward to the Digibyte, right? And sending those coins back and forth. That was just so cool. And the QR code and it being there as well and attached to the wallet, like that was kind of a new thing, 2016-ish, at least with all the other wallets that I was familiar with at the time. That was just so cool, man. It was so fast, and I fell in love.
Yeah,
Digibyte is the real deal, guys. I love it, man.
it is.
Yeah,
I-
Digibyte. I'd say Digibyte taught me a lot more about crypto at the time because I was actively participating with it. Right, you know, it taught me about it was a coin that could be mined. So I really went down the mining rabbit hole, which of course started at Bitcoin, proof of work, and then eventually later I learned about proof of stake, and you know I really wanted to know the general system, the foundational basics of each network, and then I realized, hey, there's you know, you have this aha moment of like, wait, there's multiple networks, so that means that you can build and do these things in this whole arena. I'm like, wow, this is actually really neat. I'm liking this, you know. It just DeFi. You mentioned DeFi, yeah. I definitely got left. I was like, do it again. I'm not seeing the math, man. I'm not seeing the math. I have a whiteboard right here, and I'm not seeing it. And like you guys said,
it's not computing.
You know, yeah. You're right. Yeah, system, not compute. Restart.
Does not compute. The beauty of Digibyte for me is I think you can mine that on a sundial. I mean, you can it allows so many different things to mine it that it's like, okay, let's go open source and let's go DeFi to the max, even in mining, right?
Yeah. Right.
Or decentralized mining.
Yeah, decentralized mining.
Yeah. So it's just really cool the way they did that. Like, really.
I don't know the latest. Jared and crew were talking about making a stable coin on it. I need to dig back into that.
Yeah.
When I heard that, I was like, you know, this was one of the ones it was one of the ones it was my first wallet, and like I had that same kind of thing, Simon, and I had that feeling, you know. I was like, and what you just said, Dad, is kind of like that's the kind of coins I want to see flourish. Sure. You know, for people to be able to understand it fairly quick, be able to use it widely, be able to mine it, like
it's really neat because it's, I don't know, whatever it is, a half a penny or whatever it is right now, but it's
7/10
like if you lose 1,000 of them, you're not like panicked. You know, it's like it's a good learning.
It's a great, it's great. It's great training wheels. And no disrespect to Digibyte, man. I got love for some Digi, man. I really do. But it's a great coin. You're absolutely right, Alan. A great coin to learn with, to go in, to see. You know, if you're new to investing, when you see 0.000, and you're like, "Ooh, I got a lot for a little," like. You let that marinate for a little bit. When you drop a 0, all you Shiba Inus out there, you're like, oh my gosh, I just 10x my money. Holy crap.
That's right.
That you just learned something, and now you have to calm down and walk away from your trade because you're super excited and now your head's spinning about dreams that aren't even reality yet. So just
and I was buying.
It's cool. I love Digi.
Here's my Digi story. I was buying it for a 1/10 of a cent.
Yeah.
Originally, and it went to 18 cents. So.
Okay, I want you guys to pause the video right now. Pull the app, the calculator app out of your phone, and just do $100 at 1/10. Yeah. You said 1/10 of a penny. Okay, and then see how many you get for $100, and then what's
it multiplied 1,800 times, right?
Yeah, there you go. Good.
It's almost a better idea for us to learn how to invent a time machine and go back and make that trade. That even it's like, well, I don't know the future, but I know that. Like that.
Right. Yeah.
That's a special little trade, you know? Those are fun times.
I've had a few of those. I had Theta. I started buying Theta at 10 cents and it went to $18. 17 bucks.
15 cents. Started playing about 15. Played a lot 30. But yeah. And that was cool to see that go that high. I mean, of course, we were in the most recent big bull run, right? 2021, really. Well, that was like the peak of that was like the peak, but that was so cool to see, and it really broadened everybody that was in the crypto market that was hearing the all some hype, a lot of hype, right?
Yeah.
But having some of that actual hype come to a coin that actually has utility and actually has its functionality, all of it, right? Just like another coin we know, XRP, and then seeing that price run up, that was great. That changed a lot of people's lives, and it still is today. Hopefully, if they invested wisely after that.
Yeah. I don't think there's ever been a coin now of all the coins that has better fundamentals than XRP does right now.
I would agree with that.
You have a company that has 900 employees. They have 4 patents. They're growing globally. They're connected to all these banks. I mean, there's no other coin that's really got that. And it's still under $1, guys.
Yeah.
Is it? Hold on.
This thing's going to be the business end of adoption.
Okay. Yep, still is.
It's that.
I was watching it earlier. Sorry.
It feels like that reverse. It feels like
KuCoin, it hits 95 cents. Sorry, Brent. Go ahead.
It feels like that reverse Bitcoin, guys. Like remember, I'm sure we all analyzed, like Ethereum versus Cardano. You see Cardano coming along, and you're learning about it, and you're seeing them try to start from the bottom up, and build the infrastructure and keep it cheap and expand, get people into it. And that's like what we were talking about it earlier with Bitcoin versus XRP. It's so many people that don't quite understand probably feel totally priced out. If you don't understand a Satoshi, you're like, dude, why would I purchase that? Why would I?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, well, we've got this for you guys to jump on board with, and this thing is connected to, I'll say it again, the business end of this stick, of the global banking system. We're all reading documents.
I would say not quite all. I on the business side, I want to say all, but that's more like all the big business that I know and I'm aware of on a day-to-day basis. Yes, they are in and or connected to the Ripple network and XRP token. Absolutely.
They are.
And it's under $1.
And it's under $1.
Still,
right now at 8:59 p.m. West Coast time, it is still under $1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, and I don't know whether I mentioned it in my video last night, but it was funny because no, I think that was on a different video, but I had a guy call me and he was like, he didn't know anything about crypto. 6 months ago, he didn't know anything. And he's like, well, all right,
Oh,
all
yeah.
right, I'm going to buy something. And I'm like, okay, well, here's what you're going to buy. You're going to buy XRP. And he goes, I've never heard of that. I want Bitcoin or Ethereum. I go, you're going to argue with me? Really? Is that what you're about to do here? You're really about to argue with me?
Right.
And he's like, well, I don't know anything about XRP. I said, well, why are you calling me? And he's like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, your broker or somebody must have told you that the SEC lost a big case, right? He goes, well, yeah, I think I heard something about that. Yeah. I go, that's XRP. It's the only legal one out there now.
All right.
Oh, well, I don't know. I think Bitcoin's more stable and this and that. And I said, okay, well, you'll be fine. You can buy Bitcoin. I'll give you the blessing.
Sure.
I said, but the chances of Bitcoin, I said, the chances of Bitcoin doubling to $60,000 is pretty likely. Okay. I don't know when, but it's pretty likely.
Sure.
It's pretty likely that XRP will double within 60 days. And he's like, what? And I go, well, that's my guess. He's like, what, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, that's how serious I am. It's 75 cents. I see it being at least $1.50 before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's 100% return. I'm like, you're coming from Wall Street.
Yeah.
100% return. It's comical.
It is, but you know what though? But like when I first got really actively participating in in cryptocurrency, right? So I literally adhered to the basic principles of trading, right? And that comes from Wall Street and other investment books and etc. Right? When you make 100%, you pull out. Okay.
Yep.
So I did that, right? And I was waiting, and the price went down a little bit. I'm like, oh, good. Hey, I got lucky. I caught the top, but that wasn't it. That wasn't my plan. My plan was 100%. Okay, I'll wait. It'll go down, and then I will reinvest. Okay. It did not go down. It went from $60 all the way up to $363 in the span of 2 months. Learned valuable lesson in that time frame. I did not know that crypto could do that. I did not know any investment that could do that. That was my first real world experience with holy buckets.
Was that Litecoin?
Yeah, it was Litecoin. You got it nailed it on the head, right? But guess what? But also guess what I learned later. So we peaked out, right? It went down to like like low 200s. Okay, so I was like, okay, that's a nice correction, point right there. So I got back in a little bit, right? Waited to see, and it continued. So I basically DC'd in on my way down at that point, right?
Sure.
But boy, did it keep on going. I was like, wow. Didn't know it could do that either, right? Because guess what? I was excited. I was, oh my gosh, look at this, right? And again, I didn't know about really be checking my emotions there, right? And then it was when it was really at its low that I had a very, very funny moment. I'm in bed with the wife. We're laying there, two couples on our phone, right? She's falling asleep. She tells me to turn off the lamp. I do that. I have my phone in my hand. The Coinbase app is open. I'm looking at the price of Litecoin, and I went to go hit a certain amount. That's the last thing I remember. I woke up the next morning to see that I had spent some money, and I bought a whole bunch of Litecoin. I was like, oh God. Oh no, it was great. I got it for like $25. I was so happy, but I was like, I really have to just not do crypto at night for a little while. I think I need to take a break. You know,
Yeah.
but again, it basically it had returned since I first started getting into Litecoin and other
Oh, sure.
cryptocurrencies, right?
Yeah.
And that really I again learned a lot, but it really taught me about how quick markets can move in this space. That only right. I haven't seen it move that fast in other spaces, Alan. I mean, maybe you have, but 2 months, and we're talking. Let's see,
Here's
four,
my
5x, 10x. You know,
yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Okay, here is the most important lesson I've learned through two very big bear markets. And sorry, 3 bear markets, 2 bull markets. The biggest lesson I've learned is we get fooled by the rapid movement of crypto.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. But crypto is not fast moving. Crypto has bear and bull cycles that are cyclical, and you need to know when you're at the bottom.
Yes.
That's when you buy, not when it's skyrocketing.
No.
That sounds simple, okay? Because you don't want to miss out because you're not in, because it moves so rapidly in these movements.
Yes.
You get caught up in it's a now trade. It's not.
Yeah.
You need to buy the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I've been telling people on my show every day, this is when you buy. This is when you buy. Nobody buys then, because you need a 2 to 4 year outlook when purchasing or selling crypto.
Yeah.
We get confused by the rapid movement, and it trips everybody up. And unless you're a seasoned trader, and by the way, I'm a seasoned trader and I screwed up both bull markets terribly. I should have made 10 times the amount of money that I could, that I did.
Right.
But I'm DCA'd through the whole thing. So I'm sitting good. I'm not, disappointed on where my portfolio is by any stretch of any imagination. But it's a concept that's really hard to explain to people, because people have a trader's mentality, and you can't trade crypto. Take that back. You have to invest in long period cycles in crypto and not get caught up in the emotion of the quick, rapid movements.
Exactly.
Very hard to do.
It is, especially when, like, I've had clients, I've had coworkers, I've had even coworkers / dear friends that they got into crypto and they got into a coin, and 3 weeks later it started its rapid upbring, right? And
or vice versa.
That's a common theme, the vice versa part. Hey, guys, the market's gonna drop. Well, how do you know? I'm about to buy some today.
That's it. That's it. Yeah,
right.
But that's how I know.
But that rapid up, it was like you get stuck in that. It's gonna keep going. That was this individual's lesson. It's gonna keep going, and it didn't. He didn't pull the trigger, and that's okay. He didn't pull the trigger. Okay, cool. And he waited, and he still held on the whole way down, which that too is hard, right? It's the fast up and the vice versa that you're talking about. And so it was like 2 years later. He's in the coin. It's really hit a bottom, at least for the short term. He gets in. He's just trying to learn how to do a short-term play, right? Because he wants to see. I give him the knowledge I have. I throw out all the cautionary things, and I do this for clients on occasion, right? We really got to have a good relationship, by the way. But I call them because I'm at a computer and I'm looking at the market, and I called him. I said, "Hey, man, your coin is at this price right now, man, I would exit, right? I know what a pump looks like. If you want to exit, this is the time right now. Please stop
Yeah.
doing what you're doing. Hang up with me and do it. I see him at work on Monday. I said, "Did you do it?" And he goes, "No, I was driving." And I was like, "Oh, dude." I'm like, okay, it's cool. He's like, "Well, I saw it went down, and I was driving, and I was like, okay." When you have someone that's been in, right, and they're calling you on the weekend, they could have been doing anything else, but they called you because they said they would when they saw something going, just to try to throw you a bone.
Yeah.
And you didn't pull over and try to handle that on your phone because you literally could have done it on your phone.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on,
Right.
man.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like he's like, "You're right." I'm like, "So what happened?" I'm like, "You just thought it was gonna sit there, didn't you?" He goes, "Honestly, kind of, yeah, because we had been going sideways a little bit, right?"
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's to Alan's point, cycles, cycles, 1 year, 2 year, 4 year cycles, and whatever market you're in, look for that cycle.
And the other thing
wisdom
on that, if you bought the top of the market, but it's a project you really know long term, like if you're an Army member and you bought XRP at $3, you know where it's going ultimately. Just hang on to it and forget about it, provided it's not part of what you need to pay rent, obviously. But this sounds terrible, right? From a trader. There's numerous amounts of Bitcoin I bought in the 60s because I DCA'd through the whole thing. But I bought a lot of Bitcoin in the $4,000 too. So, like when it went down in 2020, I stocked up. I told everybody I knew, it's $5,000. Are you out of your mind? Buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
anything right then. Anything right then. That was the moment. Pull the trigger.
Yeah. And the other time was 2019. Sorry, 18. 18 when it hit 3,000. I was like 3,000. Well, it was just at 20. I'm like, it's at 3. What are you doing? So you have to see the big picture. Yeah. But
it's going to go lower, right? It's going to go lower. It's going to go higher. And we don't know, but go ahead, Alan. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, when I did that video yesterday, I was talking about selling some of your coins at, say, $10 XRP, $10 or $15. You should sell some of your coins if you've got a ton of coins at $5, right? If you've got a ton of them and it goes up that quick. But don't ever sell all of your bag. I mean, unless that's your strategy right now. Okay?
Sure.
Because
there's that strategy.
The world is coming. And the world is going to want these coins. And what I'm concerned about, and I'm not trying to spread fear or panic or anything, but when these exchanges become BlackRock, they're going to sell you a derivative of a true coin to some extent through a brokerage. And you're going to get some form of a piece of paper or digital thing on your screen that may or may not actually be an XRP.
Right.
That's the kind of stuff that's coming. So that's why I advise you not to sell your entire bag, even if you just say 5%.
This
is very long-term thinking. Yeah.
Because you might never get it back out.
And if you do, it might not be a real coin.
You gotta understand what you read the fine print with your crypto. I mean, if it's gonna do what we're all talking about, everybody, this is one of those assets where it's read the fine print. to both of your stories where we've all been in coins where it rode 10x in the course of a month, and you've got it stored, in some bank. Like that's where all these crypto grandpas like us are saying, your keys, your crypto. Like if it's not in your private wallet, guys, you might not see it. You might only be able to get cash for it again, and then you're not really
where they're going to.
completely in the game anymore.
No, you're
and
not.
The long game here is really what I'm interested in personally, guys, as a fan of the technology, as a what it can do for humanity kind of stuff. It's like I need to be a gamer. I need to be doing what Simon was doing, and I need to be. My buddy doesn't have any cash. I'm like, yeah, bro, just hit me back with some digi.
Yeah, I got you.
And we create that community where we're back and forthing between each other in our wallets. That's the long term. That is the long term.
Yeah.
It needs to be the people's money. Please, everybody, please. Like,
you're not wrong.
Man. Don't trust
you're not wrong. Yeah, and so this is something I touch on with clients and other people that I help out that are some have been in crypto for say a couple of years, and it's just one of these small details that just kind of goes out the window. There's Webull, right, or Robinhood, either one of those two, right? You can get stocks and crypto on their exchange, right, or platforms.
Yeah.
But for a time, I actually don't know what it is right now today, so don't hold my feet to the fire on this one. But there was definitely a time to where you were not able to send or receive coins, cryptocurrency, to those platforms. And if you don't have that ability to do so, then they have all the power, and they really do. And when I say power, I mean control. Okay, you're gonna leave with cash, maybe you're able to leave with some extra O's in your bank account, right? Depending on what they do. There's one app that I mentioned before where they stopped people from buying, and they only said you could only sell, right? And those are that's a foul play. They get a little financial spanking on the back, but you're the one that gets wrecked. You can get wrecked from that, right? So it's just that small of a piece of information, knowledge, right, is crucial. And that's what B-Man's trying to get at, right? He's really trying to get at, like as long as he or she who holds the coins makes the rules. And that doesn't mean rules worldwide, but I make the rules between me and somebody else that has some or wants some, and we're making a deal. I get to make the rules. I get to make the terms.
There's even some DeFi platforms. There's some DeFi platforms out there right now for XRP, but I don't know any one of them that you can hold your keys. And I was like, whoa.
Right.
Wait 1 minute. Okay. You can hold half the keys, right, where you share the keys, which is cool, I guess. But on the other hand, I'm like, no, not playing that game.
Yeah.
I don't need their 6% that bad,
Right.
And the other issue
is your own
is
6% somewhere else. Do
that's
something
right.
else with your do something else. Go buy a brand new nice trailer, put a little deck around it, do an Airbnb or something. Get into the vending machine game. Get some vending machines out there, and maybe you have a vending machine that has crypto wallets inside it, and that's your gig, right?
Bigger than that. The damn thing went up 40% last week. I mean, hello, what are you worried about 6% in a year?
Yeah, right. Well, the coin itself went whoop. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about maybe the ultimate technological tool of decentralization in our world, and the possibility of just letting it fall into centralized jail.
Right.
And it's like when you actually think of it, like, okay, I've got this decentralized asset that is honest, it's tradable globally. It's the technology is growing, the adoption's growing. I could make 40% in a week. All of that, like to let yourself let it fall into jail.
Yeah.
That's the part where I want to personally, guys. I want to personally get smarter. I
Yeah.
want to be smarter.
Seek the
Yeah.
wisdom.
Yeah,
Seek the wisdom.
I'm
Seek
seeking it
that
from you
wisdom.
guys, man. I'm
And
seeking it from
it benefits the whole army that you do so.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
it
strengthen
does.
all
Oh,
of
it
us.
totally is valid. Very valid
Yeah.
point, Alan. It
Yeah.
totally does. It totally
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, it does.
It's good
Absolutely.
stuff, man.
It is
Love
good
it,
stuff.
guys. Woo.
Go ahead.
We live in an amazing time right now, guys, technologically and everything else. That's another thing too. I really somebody brought this up in a post on my video last night, and it's so important and they're so accurate. We can't just get our blinders on with our 5 favorite coins either, because there are new coins coming and there is new technology coming, right? And there's AI coming and all the rest of it. And we really need to stay open and not just get married to the old coin. And then you become the grumpy old guy on the porch who only believes in Litecoin and Bitcoin and whatever, Ethereum.
Bannerism. Try not to get
Yes.
bannerism. Like,
And we have to stay
it happens
relevant,
everywhere.
and informed.
Yeah.
We have to keep we have to keep our ear to the grindstone and make sure that we understand what's going on and what these technologies are growing into, because the use case is going to blow people's minds here soon. That was one of the cool parts about the show, was the speakers that got up and just said, well, wait till you see what we have for this. And you're just like, well, hum a few bars. And he's about 3 sentences in, and your mind's just going. Like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Right.
Really cool.
It's that when you keep getting the ahas.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
And then you think about, well, that's this coin, which probably means there's another coin out there doing the same thing, maybe a little bit different to meet some different things. You're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick around for this now. Yeah. I'm going to stick around for this now. Yeah.
Yep.
No. We're still in this. We're still in this.
Yeah.
We're not getting out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's another thing too. Somebody hit me up with, why isn't XDC going up? Because I really love that coin a lot. It's a lot of the documents that you sent me. It was in there.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them.
Oh yeah. I was actually I was blown away at that. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I knew, right? I because of
Yeah.
others, some
Right.
limited scope of information, but that I was like, whoa, didn't expect you to be doing this right here. Yeah, wow,
And
great.
it's 4 cents right now. Yeah. And they were complaining, or they were disappointed because Ripple and XLM went up, or XRP went up and had such a great week, and XDC didn't move.
Right.
And that's another thing we have to understand is, if you're in a coin that's so small that not a lot of people know about it, it doesn't have the social media presence, it doesn't have the backing of the public, it doesn't have the liquidity of the market, those coins are going to take a lot longer.
Yes.
But the whole gang will come, because fundamentally they're a key player in the future of how it all works.
They
So
are a key player.
They are a key player, by the way.
Utility.
And do
Yes,
not
they are.
get wound up because your coin didn't go up when all the other ones did. Because this is how I evaluate coins. Who's the tech? How good is the tech? How good is the code? How good's the staff? Okay. What's their social media presence? What's their white paper, or what problem do they solve? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What competition do they have with the same solution?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's so many great coins out there, but they all have the same white paper, the identical white paper. It's like they photocopied each other's, idea.
What?
Well,
Really?
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, they're a
yeah.
fork off one another.
What?
And if you look at it, you're like, well, which one has the social presence? Which one has the staff? Which one keeps firing people? Which one keeps having people quit? All of those things have to go into your analysis and what you're going to do and which coin you pick. It's
And
not the easiest thing in the world.
it's not. And I'm Alan, I'm so
No.
grateful you brought that up, because I've had clients also stuck in that research rabbit hole. Like, where do I actually start? How do I go about this? Right. And honestly, like, that's something that I really feel needs to be taught more of how to just research one thing. Like, if you're researching a company and you're looking just at their social media, okay, how do you read through the glossiness, the sparkles, the fireworks, right? Where's the meat and the potatoes? What are we looking for, right? And honestly, that's really where some of the content that I'm going to be bringing on my channel, I really want to focus on, because it's very, very, very important. It's very important to me.
I need to interrupt. You forgot one thing.
What's that?
YouTube shills.
Yes, there is that too, right? Well,
oh my God.
Oh yeah. Okay, don't get me started on that. Like that's like another 3-hour video, man. Because it brings this unnecessary element to it.
Yeah.
Right. It really does. Okay. But again, how to read through the shills, right?
Yeah.
And then go okay. How do we find out who's hiring, who's firing? How do we just do that in any company? Okay. Any business. I don't care if it's crypto or not. How can you go about finding that? And again, that's the bigger picture here. And Alan and and B-Man, I know we both have talked about this in separate conversations, where it's like there's a bigger picture with cryptocurrency. Okay. Cryptocurrency for me was my gateway into investing, wealth building, financial structures, LLCs, or learning about trusts and all these other honestly very, very important things that we need to know.
Me too,
Very
man.
important things that we need to know. In my opinion, right? Look into it, right?
Soon we're going to need those.
Oh, we're absolutely going to need to. I mean, I know that there's going to be a slew of new millionaires out there, and I know I'm one of them, but I'm more concerned about the wisdom of how to keep that and grow that, right? How does that happen? How does a company like BlackRock become BlackRock, right? How does that happen? Okay. I mean, there's a whole bunch of bad history there, I'm sure. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just saying, right? Okay. Yeah. Rockefeller family, right? Okay. There's lots of campfire stories about that family and how they came to be. Okay. But what I'm looking at is they still had to put structures in place. They still had to do things to retain and protect what they have. And they also had to do the same thing that all of us theoretically want to do. I mean, depends on your family structure. But we're building generational wealth. We want to pass this along, and not just pass on the funds and the resources and the assets, but the knowledge. Knowledge is the keystone to everything about how to keep it going. And if I die and you want to sell everything and go do something else, then you go do it. but you're going to need to know this. You're going to need to know this. You're going to need to know this. So Alan, I'm so glad you brought that up, man, because that's
Me
where my
too,
passion
Dad.
is. On my channel, that's really where I'm trying to get at. But you just got to plant seeds, man.
Yeah.
You just got to keep planting those seeds, you know.
What you guys are talking about, it's deep into the pool, but it's also big picture. You know,
it is.
Like,
it is.
Like
yeah.
for my dad to jump on XRP, you know, on our channel, you know, to send it in that direction, you got to have some vision. And how do you get that vision? You said it, Simon. It's to have knowledge. It's to look into it's to look into what Ripple is and what it's doing.
Yeah.
And then, as my dad said, you know, so many times, you know, it's got sound fundamentals.
It does.
It's connected.
It's knowing how many people actually know their cell phones. Okay. I would say I don't know my cell phone as well as somebody else. They can open
me either.
Right. They can open up the cell phone, tell me where certain things are and how I can literally to a degree reprogram my cell phone to make it more user friendly for me. Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that know how to do that because they've just messed around with their cell phone, right? They sought the knowledge. What does this do? What does this do? What does this do? What does this do? Right?
Yeah.
Same thing. Same thing applies here, man. Big picture. I mean, they probably weren't looking at their cell phone going, oh, if I can do this, I can help millions of people across the world to reprogram their cell phones, you know? That probably wasn't their motivation, right? Where ours in a way is in some aspects. But it's seeking that knowledge.
You bring up a great point all the time, Simon. It's so we need to repeat it again. Stop waving the banner of the coin you know so well and hating the coin you don't know well. Because I made the mistake many years ago of hating XRP because it was a banker's coin.
Been there, right? I drank that Kool-Aid for a little bit,
you
know, because of my view of bankers or big banks, right? Evil, right?
Okay. And you have to, at some point, you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, well, wait a minute, why do I hate it? What is it about it I hate? And that takes a big person to say, maybe I was wrong about the coin that I hate. I don't want to throw the guy into the bus, but there's a guy that I love his content. I love his show, and he's constantly throwing Bitcoin under the bus. Constantly. Every show, he says it at least once. And I say, okay, all right. I can look past it. His hatred comes out in his videos, which is his gig. He has a great channel, and I love the rest of his content. So I just look past it as much as possible. But it's interesting to me how many times he'll say, I never did understand Bitcoin, and it still doesn't make sense to me. And I'm like, okay, well, there's logic for you, huh? No, sorry, that isn't logical. You need to understand something before you can hate it. Otherwise, you're just a banner waver.
Very valid. Absolutely. You know, and you're right. It takes a lot. It takes a big person. It takes a big person to go, okay, so I hate this thing. Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just do. Okay, well, now since you said I don't know and I just do, you better have some valid points of why you don't. Right? You better go figure out why you're not actually doing this, right? And you know, it's tough, especially trying to figure out why you don't like something, right? You already have this perceived notion. It's like, cool, I'm gonna go to this place that I allegedly don't like. Turns out it's like, oh, actually, dang it. This is really cool. You know.
I admit to my ignorance all the time on my show because I hated Bitcoin because I didn't know anything about it. And then when I studied it, I became the biggest crypto junkie known to man.
Right. Yeah. It's like the new kid at school. Oh, I don't like you.
You doing that very thing, Dad. You doing that very thing is the genesis of how we got into this. Period.
Exactly.
By just looking at the thing that you poo-pooed, you know.
Right.
This sounds like, you know, nerdy pizza money. nerdy internet needs some money. This is ridiculous.
Hey, look,
and we were all there.
For me, though, I heard about that. I was like, somebody did it. Somebody got somebody else to here's some pizza and here's this digital internet money. Somebody did it. Oh my gosh. I knew that would probably happen. Like, that's what I said to my brother in 2009, right?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody else has got to be doing it. Not just out of this many billion of people on the earth. You're telling me that only one person's doing this? No, there's others. And then, then there was the negative side of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Let's use for drug dealing.
I have a better story that I have a better story that I've never told anybody.
Here we go. We're doing it live.
Yeah, this one's good. Okay, this is like 2017. Okay. And as everybody knows, I'm a yacht captain. Brent works on yachts. We have a semi-brother-in-law, if you will, who's a yacht broker. Okay. Early in 2017, I went to him and we were talking about Bitcoin. He didn't know anything about it. He just thought it was some stupid thing. And he said, yeah, this idiot came up to me and wanted to ask if my boss who owned the yacht would sell his yacht for Bitcoin. The yacht sold for $31 million.
Oh,
and the guy wanted to give him $31 million worth of Bitcoin in 2017.
What month was it? Like, I kind of want to. I'm going to look at a chart. I'm going to look at a chart.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at a chart after this show. I'm going to look at a chart.
Now, I don't know if it was all of the 31 million. I doubt it. Right.
Yeah.
But it was like, how much will he take in Bitcoin type thing? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, if you do the numbers on that, holy smokes. Right? Like, I laugh at Tim is the broker's name, that I still laugh at him. I go, do you understand that Bitcoin's gone up? Now, this was like 6 months later. I go, do you know that Bitcoin's gone up like 40 times since then? Do you know that? He could have bought 40 more yachts in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And he's like, no way. And I'm like, yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, 2017 at the beginning of the year. I want to say is
that was the big one.
Mid threes, I think, because Litecoin was about $20-$25 somewhere in there. And when I went to Litecoin because I was under the impression that you had to get the whole coin. Did not really think about and know you could just buy a little bit, kind of like gold. You could buy a gram of gold if you really wanted to, right? That's so about 300 something dollars. Oh, did you look it up?
Here it is, guys. You ready?
Okay.
This is just the basics. Bitcoin's price started the year off by crossing $1,000, culminating with a run that brought it close to $20,000.
Yeah.
So it went up 20 times. So but I remember it being 888.
Yeah, it said 900, Dad.
Okay. Yeah.
900.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
2016.
I only know it was 888 because Cliff Pies.
Another Pacific Northwesterner. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What's up, baby?
Cliff kept saying 888 was a significant number.
He wasn't wrong.
No, he wasn't wrong.
No.
It went from there to 20 grand, basically. Yeah.
Not bad for 28. Could have had 20 more yachts.
20 more yachts.
Think about it. You could have 20 more yachts by the end of the year.
Wow. If that was all Bitcoin,
that's crazy,
how much Bitcoin is that now? That's wow.
Yeah.
Well, man,
point.
is there? Well, I don't think it could have been there. I don't think. Well, it could have been for the full deal. I literally want to pull up the calculator here real quick, right? So, 31
leave that in
million,
the comments for sure.
31 million was the price of the vote, right? Okay. So
yeah.
let's say, we'll divide by $2,000. We'll give them, mid spring. Okay, that's when the deal went down. all speculation, people. Divided by
All right.
$2,000 per coin. That'd have been 15,500 Bitcoins times the current price. Let's see here. Let's go to just give me a moment. We'll look this up. We'll just go to bitstamp.com. 30,177. Open up the calculator again. Times 31, or excuse me, 30,177. That's 467,743,500. Not bad for a day at the races.
Nope.
Woo!
That ain't too shabby.
I don't care what my yacht looks like, man.
You could buy a nice
Right?
boat for that.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. That's crazy. I love
Yeah.
a good story like that. The pizza, but I do remember the pizza man. That was like, no
Mhm.
way. So somebody did their internet money, got some pizza. Like,
Yeah,
cool.
badass.
Where's
Badass.
the pizza delivery guy? Can I call? Can I do it?
Yeah.
That was really cool. Yeah, that was awesome.
There's
Yeah.
stories. You know who? What's his name? Bitcoin's a scam. I used to say that all the time.
The guy with the baseball bat on MSN or whatever it is. What's his name?
Yeah,
No,
Mad
not
Dallas.
him.
Scam. It's a scam.
A scam. Yeah.
Yeah. Bitcoin Ben
Anyway.
used to talk about him. Bitcoin Ben used to talk about it's a scam. I remember
It's a
on Bitcoin Ben's
yeah.
channel.
Anyway, I
Bitcoin Ben
can't
would
remember the guy's name.
poke the bear on that one. Yeah. I can't remember
Yeah.
the guy's name though.
That guy got on there one time and he said, well, now that it's gone up to $5,000, it's done, because it dropped down to 1,000 or whatever it did that time. And it was like a 2-year lull or whatever it did. No, It went to 1,000, went down to like 300 for like 2 years. I want to say it's over. It's done. It's a scam. Right. And he sold all of his Bitcoin, and he had like thousands of them. He would go to the shows and like give people 100 Bitcoin. Here's 100. Here's 100 for you, and here's 100 for you.
Oh.
Yeah. Because just showing how easy it is to use.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
But in fairness,
That's
though,
cool.
okay, in fairness,
Yeah,
there's
in
no
fairness.
way that really anybody would have known we would be at where we're at right now, right? There's no way. So for all you going, oh, why would you be so dumb? I mean, but
No,
still,
that's true. Yeah.
You're
A fool and his money are soon parted. It's like, no, he didn't know.
Even at $10 a coin, I'd be like, I'm not giving you 100 Bitcoin. Get out of here. I'll give you one. I'll give you one Bitcoin.
I wonder how many lives he changed just from those events. How many people held it?
Well, just think about this now. Okay. XRP is 75 cents.
Okay.
So for 75 cents, you could potentially get something that's going to go to 1,000. So let's say within 5 years, 10 years, it goes to 1,000.
Okay.
That means that every 1,000 coins you have is $1 million.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's huge. Now,
It is.
5-10 years from now, I don't know what $1,000 is going to be worth, but
$1 million.
you know,
$1 million. Like how much? Yeah, purchasing power, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How much stuff can you get for $1 million in 5 to 10 years from now? Absolutely.
that's a great
But-
point.
But the thing that everybody forgets about that calculation is nobody else is going to get those kind of returns except for you. That means that
Right.
you leapfrogged
Everybody.
generations.
Yeah.
Generations in value. So people are going to want to sell their stuff for pennies to you at that point. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
1,000 coins, you're saying? If you
Amazing.
got 1,000 coins?
If it goes to 1,000, every 1,000 coins you have is $1 million.
Okay, so
Right?
if you,
1,000,
okay,
million.
all right. So what we're saying
Yeah.
here is if you just had 1,000 XRP, right? So
Yeah.
So what? That's 700. That's $750. Okay, so if we went
Right.
sideways for the next like 3 months,
Yeah.
and it just stayed in the 75 cents on average range, right? Then you
Mhm.
could come up with $750, and you DCA'd your way to 1,000 XRP, and then you did nothing else.
Yeah.
With crypto, and you just did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
wouldn't be a bad day at the races either.
No.
You're just a little squirrel hodling away your XRP nuts into your tree, you know? And then
No,
And
you know,
boom, baby.
and remember, Valhill Capital is claiming it's 2,500 to 5,000. So your 1,000 is now 5 million.
Bell Hill.
Well,
I
Who
don't
knows?
stop getting me emotional, man. I'm gonna make a dumb decision tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm getting romantic here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, as crazy as that sounds, you and I were invested in Bitcoin when it went from $888 to $20,000 in what? Not even a full year.
Not even full year. Not even 11 months in a day.
It went from
no, less than
$5,000 to
that, less than
20
that.
grand in like a month or two.
Oh,
It was
yes,
going up
it
thousands of
pretty much
dollars a
did.
day.
Like from literally like mid-October.
Yes.
From that point till December 8th
Yep.
of 2017 or 5th or somewhere in there, because that was when the 20,000
Yeah.
peak happened, and then we had the altcoins run thereafter, right? And so I remember that. So yeah, you're literally talking in 6 weeks.
And I remember XRP being like 2 and 3 cents, and it went to $3.
I know.
At same time.
Wow.
So that's 100x, by the way.
I know.
On 3 cents and
wow.
goes $3,
So
man.
it is possible.
If you would have caught that, like, hey, if you'd have done again, $1,000 is a lot of money, but in this mathematical equation, that's $300,000. Again,
sure is. Any way you look at
possible. Yeah, it's
good stuff.
It is good stuff, man. Go Val Hill. Come on. I like your estimates. Who's with me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey,
that sure would be a fun way to save.
Jimmy Valley is no pie in the sky guy either. The guy did a 2-year study on this, guys. He looked at all the equations.
But it's valid with, again, I mean, with the PDF that I shared with you guys, and
that's right.
It just brings credence to what we've heard, some things that we've seen. I mean, Alan,
we've
what
already
you've
lived
shared,
through
with me just on private phone calls and conversations, and to all of the everybody on YouTube, on your channel, and at the XRP. Yeah. It's just like, yep, I'd take that number easily. No doubt. Time frame. I'm not going to talk about time frame, but that is definitely on the menu.
It is for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And cool. the crazy thing is like, even if it goes to like $10, it's going to change a lot of people's lives because so many people bought so much of it over the last few years, and it's been so cheap for people to buy. They DCA for years, and $10, $20 is really going to change a lot of people's lives. Really will. It's going to be great to watch and to be part of.
So cool.
Right?
With that, guys, my dogs, I think, have a skunk, and they've tossed it around 3 or 4 times. So it's going to be good fun. I get just a little whiff of skunk every now and then, and they've been barking for an hour. So,
better go handle it.
Yeah. No. Oh, I'll handle it.
I'm sure you will.
They're on the porch. They will not be invited in tonight.
Guys, it was so wonderful to talk with both of you and to listen to both of you. And everybody, please check out Simon's channel and give him some love. And
appreciate that. Yep.
And if you need his wisdom, seek him out.
Yep.
For your
hold Alan if you want. He'll give me a call and we can connect that way too. If you head over to the channel, you're gonna see a lot of CBD and CBG stuff. I did a 30-day challenge there on some CBG to see if I'd fail a drug test, because I have a lot of union co-workers that would like to use that for aches and pains. And so further back some crypto stuff, but I'm really trying to do the crypto. And like I said, this education on structure and looking forward to what are you going to do when you're crypto rich?
Yep.
What are you going to do? You got to have a plan, man. Got to have
Life plan.
Got to have plan. Yep, life plan. Life plan.
Yep.
It's a good, fun hobby, you know, to have. It is. All right.
Really
you better go
important.
take care of your skunk. Guys, this was awesome. I want to do it again. So please have me back. I'd love to be back, man. This was great. Long overdue.
Yes, it is. I know it was kind of a long show for everybody tonight, but the great thing is you guys can watch it at your leisure. And the great part is we know Simon, and is part of the team, and he'll be back many times coming down the line. And we have two other guests that I've been working on that I'm not sure they're going to top Simon's effort here tonight, but we have a bunch of opportunities coming forward for everybody. And Brent and I love the commentary from new perspectives and other people's views about crypto. And Simon was actually in crypto, I think, back before me even. And so it's really good to get other people's views and their plan as to what they're going to do after we all become quite well off. And that's important. And again, if you have any troubles at all, I'm not the greatest guy with wallets. I'm more of a concept guy, information guy, and putting it to videos. Simon is way better at that sort of stuff. And you can find me on thestaplecrew.com. You can get me, you know how to get a hold of me. And we will direct you to Simon directly, and he can help you guys out. So even if you just have some really good questions for the man, we're going to send it all your way, Simon. Definitely.
I appreciate it. Bring the love, man. The best student in the room is the teacher.
Yep.
We love you, brother.
We will chat soon.
Take care, guys. Thanks very much.
Be man. Good night.
XRP Army. We'll see you again soon.
All right.
Love you, everybody.